Welcome to 1700 Home. Today you're with your hosts Vic and Nick, and we have a very important and a very special interview for you. Channel 31 and Channel 34 will shut off forever on June 30th as the government has decided not to renew the channel's broadcasting licenses. Instead, it's decided to change its focus to creating content online.
Channel 31 has become an integral part of both SYN and RMI TV. Not only has the platform continued to provide an array of pathways for those wanting to work within the media world, it has also given members the chance to create content that is inspiring and outstanding. Here today to talk about the importance of community TV is Channel 31's Mitch. Welcome, Mitch.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me. It's nice to finally be in front of the screen for once.
Amazing. Firstly, can you tell us a bit about your role at Channel 31?
Yeah, of course. So I'm the operations manager here at 31. So I kind of have my finger in a lot of the different pies that we manage over this way. Primarily though, my main role is in the broadcast side of things. So I manage, well, at the moment a lot, but the teams and all of the equipment and infrastructure that we need to actually make the station go to air. So that could be liaising with producers, it could be assisting with studio shoots, dealing with the ingesters and other staff that we have on board to assist in that process as well. So there's a lot of different things involved in getting the station to air, and it's kind of my job to make sure they all work as well as they possibly can.
As we all know, Channel 31 and Channel 44 are facing some really challenging times at the moment with the impending deadline of June 30th, where community television is pretty much going to be switched off. How have you and your team at the Channel 31 headquarters been coping through these times, Mitch?
Yeah, look, it's been tough. Obviously, it's kind of been it's a lot of things that have happened in a very short period of time. You know, we had the fires and then we had COVID, and then this big looming deadline of switch off has kind of crept up on us. Yeah, it's tough, honestly. It's sad that we very well may be losing, such an institution of Melbourne for really no good reason. The team, we're staying as positive as we can be, and we're really hoping for a good outcome with Minister's office. But we're also steeling ourselves for the worst just in case.
Yeah, and I completely sympathise with you in that situation, because even for Nick and I, we've both benefited so much from Channel 31 and the opportunity to, get on-air experience. So why do you think for you personally is community television important?
I mean, it's given me so many opportunities already. I don't know if you've spoken about this before, but I'm actually started off at SYN. I was a radio host and I used to run the panels over there just as a volunteer, and I slowly got my leg up through C31 and through SYN as well to get more skilled and learn a lot of the things that you never get the opportunity to learn at uni or when you're producing for online. And all those opportunities that were awarded to me, I want to be able to give them to other people as well. There's a long history of course, on-screen talent, but a lot of people behind the scenes as well. If you go to the ABC, SBS, Channel 7, 9, 10, even overseas, there's a lot of people in the management of those stations, working in the control rooms, behind the cameras, that all got their start on community TV in some form or another. I'm proud to be one of those people as well, but it would be very sad to see all those opportunities lost, especially when there's really nothing that parallels it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's such a platform as well, as you've been saying there, for people to get their foot in the door for that first time media industry experience. And that's what Vic and I and many other people that have been involved with community TV have found, is that it's just this space to really learn more about television and really get your foot in the door and have this initial fantastic experience. So definitely understand what you're saying there, Mitch. It's been proposed that community TV, so Channel 31 and Channel 44, will have to shift completely online. How are you feeling about that shift, and how's that going to impact, obviously, how community television runs?
I mean, it's a massive shift, and it's one that no other broadcasters have made yet either. It's kind of, doesn't really make a lot of sense that you get the one non-profit broadcasting entity in the TV world to make a shift that not even the big commercials with giant budgets and even larger bank accounts can do. We were angling towards being able to pull it off really well. Another year, another 12 months pre-COVID, of course. I think we would have had a very good chance of actually being able to pull off something great. But obviously with COVID and all the financial impacts of that, our bank account, honestly, it wouldn't be able to support any long-term online broadcasting activities beyond what we're doing now, which doesn't even come close to what we do as a station.
Yeah, I completely agree. The station gives you just so many opportunities, but I was even watching videos of community television being discussed in Parliament and so many people discussing the importance of it. Does that really make you feel hopeful for the future of Channel 31 and having this type of support?
Yeah, I mean, having it raised in the Senate and then having that motion passed in support of all the work we're doing was a pretty good feeling. And I'm hopeful that, every single time something like this happens, we have a member of the public speak out, we might get a piece on another station, a local MP gets a letter from one of their constituents and then they take that up with the minister themselves. It all contributes to raising awareness to our cause and showing that we're not a problem that we're not going to die quietly. And we are going to be, for lack of a better word, just a royal pain in the backside if they're going to continue trying to kick us off. But yeah, it's tricky because every time we manage to get a bit of traction, the minister's office seems to come up with another excuse that doesn't really make a lot of sense, and always trying to distract from the main issue, which is the fact that there is no other use planned for where we currently sit. So, they can talk about all the different Australian YouTubers that have been able to get a leg up without the assistance of community TV, which is absolutely great. And we're super supportive of that. I mean, we would have loved to have been a part of their journey as well, but it doesn't always work out that way. But the reality is that there's a lot fewer of those than there are of people who have gone through community TV. And yeah, the finances just don't support us being able to assist them in that route either. So it's really tricky. We're really hopeful that it will work out well, but you just never know.
Definitely. Speaking of traction, Mitch, and kind of the reception you've had, obviously you've had a lot of positive, reception in regards to kind of saving community television. You've had petitions signed, you've had so much shared on social media. How's all that been, and has it been better than you thought it would be, kind of the traction that you've received?
I mean, it's been wonderful. Sometimes you feel like a bit of a broken record. We seem to do this every couple of years, but no, it's the support from the local community and everyone reaching out to share their stories of community TV, especially in a time where everything's very odd. Everything is changing and nothing feels very familiar anymore. So having all these people kind of reliving their past and their experiences with us, it's been a really pleasant thing to witness. And yeah, we just hope that the minister can see that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's so great to see all that feedback. Even we submitted videos talking about our experiences at Channel 31, and we found that there was such a big group that were able to contribute to that. Would you suggest any other ways that people can get involved? Are there petitions we can sign, or what else can people do to really try and make a difference in this?
Yeah, of course. The best way to do it is to talk with your local MP. Putting political pressure on any minister is a great way to get what you want, whether it be for personal reasons or more wholesome things like this. So express your concerns with your local member for Parliament, get them to take up the issue with the minister themselves or to send them a letter on your behalf. You can also reach out to Paul Fletcher directly, especially if you're in his electorate. Sign the petition online and just keep amplifying all the stuff that we're putting out there. The more people see and know about the issue, the better.
Yeah, definitely. And wonderful options there, and so many options as well, which is great for people to get involved in this kind of in this issue, and also really hopefully help save community TV. Just before we end, Mitch, and just shifting quickly back to kind of the influence that community TV has, could you maybe just discuss a little bit more about how important the influence of community TV has been on the Victorian state in particular? I know there are so many diverse programs as part of Channel 31 and so many wonderful people involved in these diverse programs. How important has this influence been, and what type of reception has it had around the state?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Channel 31's been around for 25 plus years now, and well before that in the form of test broadcasts through RMIT and other member groups around the state. And it's always been our mission to provide representation to all those community groups, religious views, etc., that just don't get any any visibility on the commercial or the national stations. And especially now in our, current very, you go online and there's, millions and millions of videos uploaded every hour. It's very hard to find things that align with your niche. And community TV kind of helps bridge that gap. Obviously, you don't have all the selection that you'd hope for, but it's a great way of sharing, your local community stories with members who either may not have been able to find your content otherwise, or may not have the technical skills or the infrastructure required to actually see it. So, gosh, the community groups we serve are, just numerous. There's so many of them. You could look at the Sri Lankan group. So, Sri Lankan Australians living in Victoria. The Sri Lankan morning show that airs on a Sunday has been it's been a staple for years and years now. It's a great way to share, cultural events and news within their local community. We air Russian programs, again, focusing on the local community. There's, of course I'm drawing a blank now, but you could name almost any community or demographic within Victoria, and I guarantee that there's a program on community TV that services it. And they're likely programs that you just wouldn't find anywhere else.
Yeah, I think that's just so amazing to have that platform to get everyone so involved, and it's so inclusive. And like you said, there's no other place you really can do that. So it's just like devastating to think that Channel 31 might not exist soon. But before we end as well, what's the message you want to leave with everyone watching this interview today about the importance of community TV and Channel 31?
I guess it's just not to lose hope. Community TV has existed for so long, and we're hopeful that it'll exist for a considerably longer time again. So help us stay on air and help us continue servicing all those communities that we have for so long already. Don't be afraid to pick up the fight. It's not that difficult to send a letter or to talk to your local MP. They are there to help you, and we'd obviously really appreciate the support.
That's really brilliant, Mitch. I love that. Not to lose hope. Definitely written that one down, and we're going to keep sharing that. Could be even a hashtag. I think we'll be sharing that one around on all our socials. But thank you so much, Mitch, again, for taking the time to join us today. We know that this is a really challenging time. You're busy. Everyone at Channel 31 is busy. So thank you again for taking the time to speak to us and to share your side of the story on the 1700.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks so much, guys.